The Mini was designed by Alec Azagonis and released in 1959, and it was produced right through until 2000. At the end of the 1980s, there was a resurgence of interest in everything to do with the 1960s, including music and cars. That's when, at the end of the 1980s, the classic car boom occurred, and cars that previously nobody had wanted from the 50s and 60s suddenly became worth a lot of money. One car that was still in production, which was originally in production in the 1960s, was the Mini. As such, to the end of the 1980s, a plethora of special edition Minis were released, the culmination of which was in 1989. They released the Mini 30 and 4 special edition Minis, which you can see here: the Rose, the Sky, the Flame and the Racing. And the strapline for the advert was "At Last, the 60s. So the renewed interest in the Mini as a style icon, which still is true today for the current German BMW Mini, that started at the end of the 1980s. What we'll do today is we're going to have a look at Corgi Minis of the 1980s. So what Corgi seemed to do was, every time a special edition Mini was released, they copied it in miniature form. They were able to get a good mileage out of the original 1970s British Leyland Mini 1000 casting from the 1970s. I've got a lot of them in their box here, and these are the ones that we're going to be looking at today. Before we go on, I'll show you the original 1/36 scale Corgi Mini that the company released in the 1970s. This was to replace a plethora of older 1/43 scale castings, which had developed from the early 60s from a solid casting with no opening doors or anything, right up till the end of the 60s, where everything opened. They had rally versions with spare tyres on the roof. These were all replaced in the middle of the 1970s to align with Corgi's new move up scale to more toy-like cars of 1/36. So this is the original British Leyland Mini 1000. It's got quite odd proportions, as you can see in my hand. It's very wide, but because of its kind of chunky look, I think it captures the Mini really, really well. Opening doors. This one was originally orange. There weren't very many versions of this. There was an orange, there was a yellow, and there was a silver with racing stripes. And I think there might have been another blue racing one as well. Not very many. The original front wasn't the best. These lights on a sprue attached to the grille didn't look great. So to coincide with the renewed interest in the Mini, in 1989, Corgi upgraded the casting, and it then looked like this. So as you can see, what they did was they made the headlights much more realistic and separate. Underneath, it simply became a Mini as opposed to British Leyland Mini 1000. And inside, they also added headrests to the seats. And that's pretty much about it. Let's go and get some of these ones out of their boxes. So in 1989, the Mini had been in production for 30 years, and the Rover company, as it was then known, produced a special edition series of Minis, the most luxurious of which was the Mini 30. There were also 4 other special edition Minis, which I alluded to earlier. There was the Mini Rose with a pink roof, Mini Sky with a blue roof, the Mini Racing with a green body and white roof, and the Mini Flame with a red body and white roof. This was the most luxurious. Corgi also made a special limited edition model of it. So we'll have a look at that, take it out of the box. So you can see a picture of the real car there. That's in pearlescent cherry red. You could also get it in black. And on the side, the badge of the then new Rover Group. They previously had been Austin Rover, and before that Austin Morris. On the back, there is one of the original sketches from Sir Alec Azagonis's notepad. Very interesting, that. Let's go and have a look at it. I remember getting this model in 1989. My friend already had it and I really wanted it. And I remember one day when I came home from school in 1989, I would have been only 9 or 10. My mum had bought it for me and it was absolutely fantastic. I've never been so delighted, especially since my friend had it and I just loved it so much. First thing that we got here is a limited edition certificate. Now, back when I got this when I was a boy, I thought this gave real provenance to the model, but actually 17,500 is probably a larger run even than a normal sort of run-of-the-mill die-cast car would be made for. But it gave it some provenance at the time. So this was the special box that it came in. 30th anniversary limited edition. You can see the details on the car there. The crest, 1959 to 1989. Sort of Victoriana style was in vogue then, as well as the 1960s. And you can see the Mini there has the new front on it and the number plate says Mini 30 and the paint job on it is absolutely fantastic. I don't think the camera's picking it up very well there. It's pearlescent cherry red. A lovely model. What we'll do next is we'll have a look at some of the other packaging from the same year for the regular Mini models from Corgi. Back in the mid-1980s, Corgi substantially revamped their image. Prior to that, it was all orange and blacks and reds, quite 1970s. So they upgraded it to this lovely new kind of traffic sign based logo, and even their logo itself actually had a no overtaking sign with one of the cars speeding away. And you can see, particularly on the back, there's things like the zebra crossing, children crossing sign. It actually says here copyright 1990. So this type of box was in production by Corgi for quite a long time. I always used to think it looks really nice. On the side, strangely enough, they've got their Talbot Matarancho, which is an earlier 80s. Let's go and take it out of the box. So you can see there, this is a Mini City, and it's actually got the Mini 30 number plate. Some of the regular boxes also had a sticker on the side saying 30th anniversary edition. Some of the ones for the Rose and the Sky, etc., they have that. Let's open it up. Again, we'll just see which end has been opened. I think it's been this one. There we go. Now these cars are always quite easy to remove from their boxes because they have the plastic pegs underneath. I've never actually taken this out of the box. It's the first time this has ever been out. That's why that door's open. I didn't even want to open the box to reach up to close the door. So I've had it since 2008, so for the first time I'm closing the door. So again, nice paint job in that. Mini City. It's got the new front, metallic silver, tan interior, and they're held into the box with these kind of pegs. So let's go and unhook them. 1, 2, this is the first time this has ever been out. So there you see it. What does it say underneath? Oh yeah, a short run of Minis had the base plate that said Mini 30 1989. I think that was probably only produced for a couple of years. Nice model. Around about the same time, Corgi were really cashing in on this special edition Mini casting. And for Woolworths, which is a shop that's now long gone, they also produced these triple sets. So there's 3 special editions in here. There's the Mini Ritz, that's a bit of an earlier one, that's a bit from 1984. The Jet Black and the Red Hot. So these were nice boxes. So on the side, it's got a picture of the model. On the back, Mini Special Editions. Just got a little bit about the Mini. Let's go and take them out and have a look. This box is really nice. It's got behind, it's got, like you'd maybe see in a showroom, It's got the names of the minis there. So let's take this one first of all. So we've got the Red Hot. So this one's got a bit more detail on the grille. It's got the black grille. I'll just move the rest of these out the way and focus on this one. Yeah, it's got the black grille. It's got the sticker for the number plate with the special edition on it. Black wheel arches, Red Hot decal. Let's see if it'll focus in on that. There we go. And it's got a similar treatment on the back. Opening doors, black interior. Now this again is different underneath. It now says Rover Mini. It's still got the old Corgi logo above from the 70s. Really nice one, that. So let's have a look at the next one. This is the Ritz. I think this is from about 1984. The real car. Metallic silver, black grille, Ritz number plate. See the writing is sort of reminiscent of early 1980s. It's a glitzy font. Nice triple pinstripe. Again, same treatment on the back. Same underneath, Rover Mini. Let's look at the last one. So we've got the jet black. Another nice one. Same details, except it's just really the opposite of the Red Hot. It's like in negative form. It's got the jet black decal there. And on the back. And it's the same underneath, Rover Mini. So the next set of minis we've got here is another one produced for Woolworths. This dates from 1993 and it's to coincide with the launch of Rover Group's special edition Italian Job minis. These were to replicate the cars that appeared in the film. These are not replicas of the actual cars that appeared in the film. They're replicas of Rover's replicas, if you like. These were for sale to the general public, available in 3 colours. The back of the box shows you the real cars there. So all they really had that were different to the normal minis were alloy wheels, bonnet stripes, and fog lamps, various different coloured pieces of trim. Again, it helps sell a few more minis. Let's take it out of the box. I'm going to open both ends of this box because it's catching on the interior cellophane. I don't want to damage anything. Let's go for that. There we go. So what we've got here is I could consider it to be my first unboxing fail. So what's happened is there's so many of these different plastic pegs that I would have to force them to take them out, and I just don't want to do that. So we'll take a look at the cars as close as we can where they are. So they've got green tinted glass, which is unusual. They've got bonnet stripes, and they've got the same number plates as the ones on the back of the box. So it's K102 BWK. What's that one? That one will be 101. That's 103. Again, they're otherwise pretty much the same. They've got nice white wheels though instead of silver. And they've got the little Italian Job logos at the back there. Try and focus on that. Well, it's very small. Really nice. I just felt that to take those out the box it might damage it. Let's go and look at a slightly later one from the 1990s. The last one we'll look at is a Mini Neon from 1991. They changed the box slightly. It's a lot smaller now. Still has the road sign themed logo. We've got special limited edition boxes. These were used right up to the end of the 1990s. Not as interesting in the back, nothing really there. Oh, sorry, this is from 1992, I see. It's not such an interesting box, but this is of a mini neon. So let's take it out. Lovely metallic blue paint job on this one. And you can see this is quite hard to see. Mini neon by Mini. It's got the nice themed number plates. Slightly larger badge there. Black grill on the front. Excuse me. You can see that metallic paint catching the light. Pretty nice. And what does it say underneath? Ah, it now just says Mini underneath by 1992. So again, as you can see, there was absolutely loads of different variants. Towards the end of the 90s, the Minis started to have things like wide wheel arches on them, like this one here. Special seats, colour-coded seats, mirrors, rubber tyres. This was one of the last ones made. Mini 40. Thanks for watching.